and spread misinformation.
This is not the only thing California is known for. California, with its all-inclusive, everybody's treated fairly, come to California, actually uses a form of slave labor to put out fire. You heard me right. Incarcerated people are trained with as little as 3 weeks of training to fight fires in California. Now, here's the catch. They make less than $7 a day. And once they get out of prison, guess what? All that training goes to naught, because by law, they cannot become part of the fire department for up to 10 years if they have one felony, and can never become a firefighter if they have more than one felony.
This happened because of DEI, and the fire chief is a lesbian, and the mayor was partying in Africa.
For being absent while their homes were burning? Do you regret cutting the fire department budget by millions of dollars, Madam Mayor? Have you nothing to say today?
And the fire department won't hire white men, and the mayor cut the fire department budget. No, 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 and no. First, DEI did not cause these fires or prevent firefighters from responding.
Firefighters there doing everything they can, but there simply aren't enough of them to fight the horror that has exploded.
Second, LA City Fire Chief Kristen Crowley is the first LGBTQ fire chief in the department's history.
Out of her already busy schedule to tell us about her vision for the department's future, one that includes a 3-year strategic plan to increase diversity.
People ask me, well, what number are you looking for? I say, I'm not looking for a number. It's never enough.
Out of 3,300 city firefighters, only 115 are women right now. She's already looking at ways to change that. She's quick to point out that doing so has a greater purpose, attracting the best and brightest for the job.
They feel included, they feel valued, and they feel part of a cohesive team.
Somebody that responds to your house, your emergency, whether it's a medical call or a fire call, that looks like you. It gives that person a little bit more ease, knowing that somebody might understand their situation better. Is she strong enough to do this? Or, you couldn't carry my husband out of a fire. Which my response is, he got himself in the wrong place if I have to carry him out of a fire.
Third, Mayor Karen Bass was taking part in President Biden's official delegation to attend the inauguration of the president of Ghana and flew back home immediately. No one knew there was going to be a major fire just because there was an elevated risk.
And it's here to where they lit it. It looks like it's already smoking. You can see the smoke. I wish it was at night so I could see the lasers light off, but I cannot see any evidence. But it looked like an explosion. See the heavy smoke, and then it lightened up. I have not watched anything on this. I'm just showing you what I noticed from satellite.
Fourth, yes, the fire department still hires a lot of white men. And fifth, the $18 million budget cuts in an $837 million budget did not cut firefighters.
Now, John, you just heard the mayor say that budget reductions did not impact Los Angeles' firefighting capabilities. Is that true?
I'm going to disagree with that wholeheartedly. The budget, was cut by about 20 million last year, and now the mayor's looking at another, I believe, 40 to 50 million dollars that they're trying to cut. It's caused a lot of issues in regards to staffing issues, lack of apparatus, lack of testing, all kinds of things that are happening inside of the city.
But left administrative jobs unfilled and cut the overtime budget, and still left actual fire spending projected to exceed the amounts budgeted for the fiscal year. No elected official is ever beyond critique.
That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the call.
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So
There's
let's
no
get
cell
it.
service.
Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it. I'm doing that right now. And it's to immediately get reimbursements, individual assistance, and to help you. I'm devastated for you. I'm so sorry, especially for your daughter. I have 4 kids. Losing the school.
Everyone who went to school there, they lost their homes. They lost 2 homes because they were living in one and building another. Governor, please tell me, what are you going to do with the president right now?
We're getting the resources to help rebuild.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
That's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be. Has to be. Of course.
What are you going to do?
I'm doing
to
everything
fill the
I can.
hydrants. I would fill them up personally, you know that.
I literally have.
I would fill up the hydrants myself.
I understand.
But would you do that?
I would do whatever I can.
But you're not. I see do you know there's water dripping over there, Governor? There's water coming out there. You can use it.
I appreciate it. I'm going to make the call to address everything I can right now, including making sure people
I'd
are
like
safe.
to make sure you do. Can I have an opportunity to at least tell people you're doing what you're saying you're doing? Could somebody have a contact? Can I have your contact information?
Right there.
Thank you. Don't worry, I'm not going to do anything.
No.
Many of these attacks are simply designed to make a black woman the fall guy for long-term budgetary and infrastructure issues facing the city.
He goes, it's just going to be the right wind, and fire's going to start in the right place, and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean, and there's not a thing we can do about it.
And deeper climate and environmental issues facing the country.
And all of a sudden I hear a car come to a screeching halt, and the guy is running out saying, stop, drop what you're holding, drop what you're holding. And then next thing we hear is him yelling, neighbors, he's trying to start a fire, call 911, call 911. My mom ran out in her bathrobe ready to fight the guy. And all of the neighbors started coming out, calling 911. We really banded together as a group. A few gentlemen in the neighborhood had detained him. They had surrounded him, gotten him on his knees, and then they got some zip ties, and my stepdad came out with some rope, and we were able to do a citizen's arrest and detain him until the police had arrived. He had a like a propane tank, or it's a big yellow tank, like a flamethrower basically. And the neighbor said that he saw the guy behind a van trying to light something on fire. The guy looked like he was in his mid-20s. He said that he had a blowtorch to smoke marijuana because he couldn't afford a lighter. He spoke a lot of Spanish, but did speak some English as well. We had some Spanish-speaking neighbors that were able to translate and help us out. He did seem in an altered state, though.
Remember, Republicans used the same DEI argument when a cargo ship hit a bridge in Baltimore, when a train derailed in Ohio, when a plane door blew open in midair, and when a bank collapsed in Silicon Valley. It's time to stop using these tragedies as an excuse to attack women and people of color.
Instead of burning up the red counties and the forested areas to the north, it's devastating portions of Los Angeles. Everybody's seeing it on the news. Every year we know the Santa Ana winds are going to blow. Every year we know that there's going to be risk. So what is our governor doing to help stop the risk? Virtually nothing, other than showing up at press conferences and waving his arms around and having long practiced monologues about, oh, it's someone else's fault, this or that. So it's time for the governor to either bear down or get out of the way, because California keeps suffering. My county's up north, Carr Fire, Camp Fire, Dixie Fire, 1 million acres, and now it's hitting the constituents of Southern California hard. Why does this have to keep happening? Why is not anything being done to really mitigate the issue of forest management, of brush management, and lower the risk? Why is the water being cut off at the hydrants? Is it because he won't allow us to build the water storage we need for a growing population and for growing crops? We need to build Sites Reservoir. We need to raise Shasta Dam. We need to not let all the water keep rushing out to the Pacific Ocean through the Delta to supposedly save a smelt that doesn't exist.
What caused these fires was not woke policies, but a perfect storm of weather and climate conditions. We had strong Santa Ana winds on Tuesday and dry land after virtually no rain all year.
But when the governor of California can't answer basic questions from the media on why fire hydrants are completely empty of water, and meanwhile his administration is leading to the emptying of endless water into the Pacific Ocean, when actual environmentalists have been warning for years that California's disastrous fire mitigation policies, refusing to cut down a single tree and refusing to clean out the forest floor and empty out dead foliage because climate change.
Part of the challenge, according to experts, is fighting wildfires with urban water systems that were designed for homes and businesses, not to stop tens of thousands of acres from burning in the wild.
As we were pushing so much water in our trunk line, and so much water was being used before it could get to the tanks, we were not able to fill the tanks fast enough. So the consumption of water was faster than we can provide water in our trunk line. We ran out of water on the second tank about 8:30 p.m. and the third tank about 3 a.m. this morning. Those tanks help with the pressure on the fire hydrants and the hills of Palisades. And so I want to make sure that you understand there's water on the trunk line. It just cannot get up the hill because we cannot fill the tanks fast enough.
I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it.
Part of the challenge is that as humans continue urbanizing more of the planet, we're literally building into nature, disrupting the natural ecosystem and exposing ourselves to natural disasters.
Structure, the apps, and the data tools to be a globally recognized smart city. But as technology evolves, so our smart city must evolve too. That's why we have developed our Los Angeles Smart City Strategy, known as Smart LA 2028, as a roadmap to the 2028 Summer Olympics. It includes 56 new goals that use technology to transform the way we live, work, and move around LA. Check it out here.
About 85% of wildfires are started by humans, according to the U.S. Forest Service.
When I'm watching videos taken by friends of mine in these neighborhoods that are now completely ablaze from just a few days ago, with homeless individuals and encampments setting things on fire to stay warm because the homelessness epidemic is out of control more in Los Angeles than anywhere else in the world, and people like Gavin Newsom refuse to take ownership of that problem.
Most because of accidents like campfires and sparks from power lines. Even with an $800 million budget and 3,200 uniformed personnel in the LA City Fire Department and nearly 5,000 personnel in the LA County Fire Department.
Vaccine mandate, you are one of them. When you see this fire and think about what you went through, what goes through your head?
It's really frustrating, to be terminated over standing up for your civil rights. And being a 23-year veteran employee of the fire service for Los Angeles City, everything I've done has been to serve the citizens. And, I've been on the ground in the Palisades. I was there yesterday and in Malibu, and it's devastating to see what's happening. And it all stems from a lack of true leadership.
It's still not enough to fight Mother Nature in the wild. LA County has 10 million residents. That's more people than 40 of the U.S. states. And we're all surrounded by dry hills and forests.
Los Angeles, you need to know this. This was just sent out by Los Angeles County, telling everyone to evacuate. It's not true. It was sent out by mistake, okay? There have been so many mistakes by government happening in this tragedy happening in Los Angeles. But just now, with everyone's nerves on edge, they accidentally just sent out this message telling everyone to evacuate.
Yesterday, I thought I was far away from the fires, but the Sunset Fire in Hollywood Hills erupted early in the evening in Runyon Canyon, which is very close to me. The fire department issued an evacuation warning for my neighborhood last night, and after a few hours, firefighters were able to get it under control, and evacuation orders were lifted just before midnight.
Now, people are rushing to escape the Hollywood Hills.
Brand new fire exploded down the Hollywood Hills, making a beeline for the iconic heart of the entertainment industry.
It is like driving through hell itself down here. Literally through hell.
Tens of thousands of people have fled for their lives, abandoning their cars when they could go no further.
A new fire erupting in the Hollywood Hills, marching toward iconic landmarks. More than 130,000 people were under evacuation orders across Southern California.
The speed and effectiveness of last night's successful campaign here in Hollywood contradicts the right-wing attacks about woke policies ruining the fire department. It's even more impressive that fire officials had the resources to contain the fire last night because they're fighting 5 major fires across LA County at the same time. So instead of using this disaster to bring out the worst in people, let's bring out the best. Let's thank the thousands of dedicated firefighters trying to keep us safe. Let's applaud the heroes who saved a neighbor's home by climbing on a ladder.
We have a man found dead, still holding the hose, trying to save his home, what his family is now telling us. And they have just revealed that there are up to 5,000 structures, homes, lost.
Remember 66-year-old Victor Shaw, who died holding a fire hose trying to defend his home. But let's not use this tragedy to blame one person for all of society's
tremendous water up there. They sent it out to the Pacific because they're trying to protect a tiny little fish